Thank you so much. That was really a great talk with a lot of facts, with a lot of research, very complementary to the prior discussion. I decided that I already take Antonio Hautle on stage. He's meant to make the wrap up, and we don't have a lot of time. So there are about 7 to 10 minutes left, because we also want to have lunch right here around the corner. So without further ado, Antonio Hautle, I think I introduced you already, CEO of Global Compact Switzerland and Liechtenstein. Many of you know him already, but maybe you can introduce yourself in case I'm...
Yeah. I have a micro. Eleni, let's just have a short exchange. And we wrap up that 5 minutes. I can speak like this because I have the micro. So I think after this speech, we are much more positive. We were saying, all these challenges, what kind of planet do we leave to our children? I put that, these are the SDGs. You said you're not so, don't like them too much. I come to that afterwards. That's the Bundeshaus, the government in Bern. But tell us, to wrap up, we have heard a lot now. Water, energy, we had the example of Bühler investments, we have the good example of Baden. How can we here in Switzerland be resilient and sustainable and responsible? I take these three terms. What do you tell us? In which direction should we go as a Swiss economy, Swiss politicians, Swiss scientists, Swiss women and men?
By the way, I happen to be Swiss myself, so...
Yeah, you are also one, that's true.
To answer this question, which I've never been asked. But I'm not sure I'm super well qualified to answer what Switzerland should do, but let me say that vis-a-vis what I just talked about, I believe that, Europe... and particularly Switzerland, as a neutral and actually an innovation-minded country. There's a lot of innovation in Switzerland that I've looked at. I think that what we can do is build on this idea that, de-risking capital and in allowing it to flow into strategic sectors. That's kind of the story of Singapore. They have 17 strategic priorities. And I think in Switzerland, resilience, sustainability, the questions you asked certainly can translate into a strategy for investing, blended finance into strategic priority sectors to foster innovation, both for Switzerland, but also for the world.
For the world.
Yes.
If you can give me the second slide, please, because the UN Global Compact, you may have heard about it. If not, it was funded 25 years ago at the World Economic Forum. You just go through the clicks, please. Can you just click through to have the whole picture? Because the simple idea is that companies commit to business responsibility. We normally don't speak about sustainability. Sustainability is the consequence out of responsibility. And I always tell company CEOs and C-level people, please don't develop a sustainability strategy, but develop a business strategy which is sustainable, including economic, social, and ecological aspects. And we have heard now also from you and Eleni, your example is a good example to tell us we don't have to solve the problems of everyone elsewhere. We first have to solve our challenges and build up an ecosystem where we can live together. And what I really appreciate in this conference is that we also speak about the challenges without moralism. That's a little bit one of the problems, and that's a little bit the problem in the debate on the SDGs, no? Telling, you have to, it's so bad, etc. But just to make the link to the business, for me it's important. It's the first time, I'm a theologian and philosopher and economist in my background. It's the first time in world history that the world community agreed on these principles. And for me, it's a kind of orientation, a compass on which we can base and I say clearly our ethical reflections. Ethical doesn't mean I know what it's right and wrong. It's about the debate, and we had these debates yesterday, we have it today, we had it last night at dinner, and I think that's what we are responsible for. We have to join the forces as we did here and get in touch with all the different entities, organizations, and for me it's important that we really have the courage to contradict also certain tendencies, that we stick to our values, as Pascal said, and really to build up a planet, and that we stick to the future where our grandchildren still can live in human dignity. I think that's the purpose, and I like the very practical approaches. Bühler was for me a beautiful example, but there were many others, and yours, how we as private sector can make a difference together with science, together also with the public sector. And in this sense, thanks a lot. We go for lunch and we'll enjoy in the afternoon the example of Baden.